Good morning or good afternoon to all. Today, for the 18th episode of our CATIA TV series, I am very pleased to welcome Hubert Masson.
Hello.
And Stanislas de Charette.
Hello, Anne.
On board. Hubert heads the research and development team for the 3D Experience Marketplace, and Stanislas is responsible for the PartSupply Marketplace. Together, they will present how to access services and content from industrial qualified providers, and more specifically, component providers. As usual, you can ask questions during the broadcast by using the chat pane or the comment area, and we will answer you. All questions and answers will be published in the CATIA user community with the webinar recording. This is where you can watch previous webinars, ask questions, make comments, and we will answer you. You can also write to katia.contact@3ds.com if you prefer an email response. I hand over to Hubert and Stanislas now and wish you a very interesting webinar.
So the objective of the 3D Experience Marketplace is to connect qualified ecosystems of industrial actors, and to do this in dedicated domains and professions. The objective is to not only connect them, but really facilitate the collaboration and ultimately the transactions between those ecosystems. The challenge we see in your usages and in your feedbacks is that today all the designs you do are more and more complex and involve more and more disciplines and more expertise. And sometimes those expertise are not available in-house, or we need extra capacity. So the point is to help you find the right experts in your disciplines, find the right components for your designs, and help you get your parts made, whether this is for prototyping or for functional parts or for process qualifications. And so those needs and those challenges to find this right expertise, to be able to trust the partners with whom you want to work, to be able to collaborate efficiently in 3D on those projects, to be able to have the complete traceability of those collaboration, and to be able to manage the end-to-end transactions. Those challenges are at the heart of this creation of those marketplaces that we introduced 1 year and a half ago in early 2018. So this is why we created those 3 marketplaces. The idea is really to go in dedicated domains, as I was saying, and to bring specific values into those domains, including values that are currently delivered through the applications that you use daily. So we have a marketplace dedicated to manufacturing, on-demand manufacturing as a service. We call this MAKE. And here you will find an ecosystem of providers worldwide able to manufacture your parts in any manufacturing process. We also have engineering service with on-demand engineering work that can be done by an ecosystem of industrial providers, Then you also have engineering, which is about on-demand engineering design, delivered by qualified ecosystems of engineering providers, engineering offices. And finally, we have PartSupply, which is the focus of today's presentation, which is about on-demand components in order to facilitate your design. So those online services can be freely accessed online. Just go there. You have the URLs here on the screen. Create an account for free, and you can start interacting with these ecosystems for your manufacturing, engineering, or component projects. Something I would like to emphasize also is that those services are available in 2 flavors. So the community ones are the one that just described. You just go to the websites, and everyone get to access to that same ecosystem of providers that is qualified by Dassault Systèmes. They're also available in an enterprise version, whereby you as customers can decide to define your own ecosystem of providers with whom you want to work, whether this is external partners or internal resources. And then you can optimize the make or buy decisions, as well as the utilization of those in-house resources. So we'll now hand it over to Stanislas, who will focus on PartSupply online service and tell you more about how to source your components from this service.
So thank you, Hubert. So making PartSupply, we thought about COTS, component on the shelf. So we have bolts, screw, brackets and support, and that is our mechanical content. But we have also electrical and electronics content into PartSupply. Those are basic components, but they are mandatory in your designs. That's why we made PartSupply as a time saver for the designer who is looking for the right component. We have that in one place, PartSupply, with a catalog of 100 million growing number components at designer fingertips. We provide a 360-degree description regarding engineering, compliancy, manufacturing, and sourcing information to fulfill your requirement. We have an intelligent semantic search, but also a 3D similar search to find easily your components, and all that is available for free on our website and in CAD system from DASE system. I was saying growing number, so 100 million parts, it's for end 2019, and thanks to the new enrollment process for new suppliers, and thanks to our partnership with electrical and electronic provider, we want to go to 1 billion part within 2 years. Now, let's take an example. In my last job, I was searching for a basic part, which is a spherical bearing. What do we do as designers when we need such a simple component? We need to see if it fits in our assembly. Then we will have to check mechanical loads in all temperature of services. That will get us the material, and we will have to choose the material with the right surface treatment. That's it, all the engineering properties and documentation that is in PartSupply to help you, on the base of engineering requirements, to find the right part. So all that in PartSupply. But it's not enough. We have to go further and find plenty of other information. Those information are there to help you save time. In the same place in PartSupply, you have all what you need to find the right component from an engineering perspective, but also from a compliancy perspective. So the second type of information we get into PartSupply to save your time is all compliancy information. Then you know if your material and your surface treatment are REACH compliant, for example. Then we will switch to another subject when you search for a bearing or any components on the shelf. It is verify that the bearing here fits the assembly requirements. So we will check the tooling, and you can check with the manufacturing engineer that he has the right tools to mount the bearing. And we will also very quickly, because you have information at your fingertips into PartSupply, check the mounting process. So that permits to a designer not only to find a part that fits his requirement, but that fits also manufacturing requirements. And then we will fit also sourcing requirements. So it's coming there. And with the list of vendors into PartSupply, with stock and prices into PartSupply, and with lead times into PartSupply, you will fit all the need and all the requirements of the fourth and last facet, which is sourcing. So PartSupply is not only a catalog of parts, it's a place where we concatenate all updated information about sourcing, manufacturing, compliancy, and engineering. So now we have our bearing fitting with all the requirements from an engineering perspective, but also from a compliancy, manufacturing, and sourcing perspective. Then we just have to add the 3D model so that we can insert it, replace, or just open it in the CAD systems. Then I will show you also how PartSupply is available on the web. So here you have the possibility to browse through catalogs. You have also the possibility to make a search by similar. So here I took a bearing, and we can see all the list of bearing. We can compare all the attributes, and we can choose the right bearing regarding all the attributes and documentation. We have the list of similar parts of each bearing, and then we will see engineering properties and compliance process sourcing relations information that permit, for example, to find a revender of the part, to have stock and prices updated, information that are really volatile and that are always updated into our PartSupply. Then we'll switch in CAD because we have also access to PartSupply in CAD. So here let's take an helicopter where we will have to insert a gear. So finding it into PartSupply is really quick with a great experience of semantic search. Here we just have to select the part and then insert it in our CAD. We can also play with the 3D player to be sure we are we will insert the good part, and there it is. And then in PartSupply we have also the capability in the CAD system to replace a part. So you have here, for example, a bearing that you want to find on the market. We just have to select it and to make a 3D similarity search. So it will give you all the alternatives of the market for that bearing. So you can use the tagger to filter and specify your search, and then select a part. Again, play with it in the 3D player to make sure it is the right one for you, and then replace the old part of your design. Here it is. With PartSupply, we have also, as Hubert said, an enterprise version. It provides the same information, all the same content that it's free in the PartSupply community for all web users and CAD system users. But it permits to enable the strategy of the company in a matter of standardization and in a matter of sourcing. All the information that we have, engineering information, will permit to optimize the choice from an engineer point of view, also compliance from a compliancy manager point of view, and manufacturing and sourcing will also permit to optimize the following steps of procurement and production. In the enterprise application, we have also AI data-driven services that permit to optimize procurement standardization and engineering choices for the right component. Now I finished the presentation of PartSupply. I hope you enjoyed it, and please take away that we are here to save your time. PartSupply is an acceleration to find the right component. You can visit our website to find your part or use PartSupply into 3ds CAD systems. You can also join our community and ask for your questions. You can also join our PartSupply community available in the website. And if you are a supplier or if you know suppliers, please come to us and enroll yourself and propagate all your 3D models and all your components to PartSupply users and PartSupply enterprise users that may qualify your catalog.
Thank you very much, Hubert and Stanislas, for this very enthusiastic presentation. And thank you all for attending this webinar. And especially thanks to those who have asked questions. Again, if you didn't have time to ask your question, you can ask it in the CATIA user community. This is where you can watch previous webinars and find answers. You will see the link in a few seconds. And talk to you at the next webinar. Goodbye now.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.